Welcome to another session on big data technology. Today let's learn to migrate some SQL Server data to Snowflake on AWS. Snowflake on AWS is a brand new technology, so let's take a quick look at that. Snowflake stores data on Amazon's S3 buckets and uses scalable EC2 servers to run the analytics, and it also has service management layer on top of this, essentially making each layer independently scalable. That makes the whole system highly scalable. Ingest structured and semi-structured data into Snowflake very easily. But for this demo, let's focus on migrating one table from a SQL Server database into Snowflake. Let's get started. Data for this demonstration is stored on SQL Server, which is on Azure platform. Let's take a quick look at that. So this is the database I have, and let's connect to that. And I have one table here called ICD9. Let me pull some records. I have three columns here: ID, diagnosis code, short description, and a long description. And I have a couple of records here. Let's migrate this data into Snowflake using ETL tool Talend. I'll create a brand new job. I'll call it as SQL to Snowflake. The very first thing I'll need is a connection to Snowflake. Let's take a quick look at the Snowflake user interface and also create a destination table where we will be migrating the data. So this is a Snowflake user interface where I have a database called healthcare. I'm going to create a brand new table here called ICD9, dim ICD9, and it will appear under public schema and then columns. Let's move on to Talend to create our ETL job. I'll create a brand new job by name SQL to Snowflake. ETL. Now the next thing I need to do is create a connection to Snowflake. I go to metadata and I have a Snowflake here. I need to create Snowflake connection. I give it a name. All reference videos or documentation that I saw on the Talend, which was referring to Snowflake, did not explain what this account name was. So I finally figured out that it is this part of the URL, which is your account name, which also includes the region of your AWS. So I copy that part, paste it here, then my user ID, my password. Now the warehouse name, I switch back to Snowflake and go to warehouse. I have created a sample data warehouse and it is also configured to auto suspend if I don't use it for 5 minutes. So I copy this name, come back, enter it here, and for schema I go back to Snowflake and click on database, click on healthcare. So this is my schema name, public. And for database, I copy from, this is not the one, databases, healthcare is my database. Copy these, test the connection. I have set up multi-factor authentication on my Snowflake account, so it is asking me on my phone to confirm that it is indeed my request, and it did. The connection is successfully established. Now I go to next. one more time, and then it shows me all the tables I have. So I just select this and say finish. Create a connection to our SQL Server database stored on Azure. Give it a name, SQL Connection, SQL something. And then the status, let me keep it development. And database type, I select Microsoft SQL Server. My login is Khatimani, password is, and server name is khatimani.database.windows.net. Database name is Big Data SQL. Let's check the connection, and it is successful. Finish. Let's retrieve the schema. And I want everything. And let's see the table structure, DBO. I have ICD9 table here. Let's say select all. Next. I want to bring in all of the data and finish. I'll drag the dim table and MS input to make it a source table. So now we have the source. Let me drag the destination, which is Snowflake connection, in which we have already created a destination table. Drag it and drop it and make it a output. Okay. Now I connect these two. Do you want to get the schema of the target? Yes. Before I proceed, let me confirm that the table is empty. I switch back to Snowflake. I need to select a data warehouse first. Healthcare DW is my data warehouse, and healthcare is my database. Schema is public. So now I run the query. Dim ICD9 is the one I'm interested in. Click here, preview data. So it shows there are no records. Great. Let's switch back and run the job. So I just execute this. Let's see the results. Okay, it's asking for multi-factor authentication. Now it should be running. Yeah, we see the records getting transferred. That's very good. Okay, it is done without any errors. Let's switch back and see if we got our records here. Click here again. We see the data. There we have it. We have successfully migrated the data from SQL Server database table into Snowflake on AWS. The process will be similar if you're transforming the whole or migrating the whole data warehouse. You'll pick each and every database, and probably you will have some transformations in between based on the data type, if it is different or if it is not supported on Snowflake. So more or less this is the process. So to conclude, we have looked at an general overview of Snowflake on AWS, and then we also looked at our Azure portal, which had a database, and in that we had a sample table called dim ICD9 with some data in it, and then we wrote an ETL that migrates the data from SQL Server to Snowflake on AWS, and we verified that on Snowflake. So that concludes our session. Please like the video and subscribe to my channel for more of such videos. Thank you.